Indiana Jones is probably not the first thing you think of when you hear the words George Lucas. You probably think of something more big, like Star Wars, for example. Indiana Jones was an American-made franchise of the adventures of Dr. Henry Indiana Jones, a physical archaeologist. The series began back in 1981 with the first film, Raiders of the Lost Ark, a prequel to Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And not only that, but it's even got its own TV franchise in 1992 with the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. With all this money that George Lucas was making on this archaeologist, he wanted to also bring kids into this universe. How do you get kids? Simple. You make a video game. But how do I make a video game? Said George Lucas one day. And he found the people that would soon help him with this. In 2008, we finally would get the game that would soothe our soul into the Indiana Jones interactive universe. I'm not talking about that one. The game was announced on 2005. The game I'm talking about is Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings. It was set to release for the PlayStation 2 and the Nintendo Wii. The game was announced in 2005, and in July of 2008, an interview with Daily Game, a LucasArts representative, dismissed rumors about the game's cancellation, starting that the Indiana Jones PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 concept game were still in deep development. The game's story was inspired by Raiders of the Lost Ark and is a collaborative effort in the design of the management teams of LucasArts, with one of the writers being Peter Hirschman. June 12th of 2009, we would get the game that would soothe our souls. Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings. This plot centers around the Staff of Moses. The Wii version game includes exclusive co-op mode with Indy and Henry Jones Sr. and an unlockable version of the classic point-and-click adventure Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, also set in 1939, on the PlayStation 2 and the Wii version's Big Head mode. The plot centers around Indiana Jones looking for the ancient ram's idol in Sudan of 1939. Indy traverses the canyon in the Temple of Idol. After a few narrow escapes, including a swarm of spiders, collapsing statues, Indy finds himself in an idle position and is about to exit. When he encounters a group of Nazis, Indy is confronted by their leader, Magnus Voller, and a Nazi aside him bearing a pistol. Indy is forced to give up the idol, but escapes while he distracts Voller. Indy then makes his way outside, fight off some Nazi soldiers. He gets into a truck, chases after a plane, then takes off and runs away. After catching up to the plane, he disposes the pilot, gets off. He briefly pursues by some of the Nazi fighters, but escapes and heads on back to the United States. So what am I saying here? Simple. That's the story for you. At least the beginning of the story. But the game wasn't very well received. Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings received mixed to average reviews per review aggregator Metacritic. IGN praising its reference, graphic events, and amount of extras, interactive levels, and varied gameplay, but was criticized for its awkward implemented motion controls. The AV Club gave it an F, a 0 on the Metacritic scale. They called the motion controls inexcusable and started the game. Best asset was the conclusion. GameSpot criticized its terribly laid out checkpoints, out-of-date visuals, and atrocious, annoying motion controls. The game wasn't very well received because of the motion controls. It mostly bugged the people who would actually play it because there was so much to remember. Once you have that all ingrained into your head, you're practically at the end of the game. Because there are so many controls that are thrown at you that it's hard to receive them all, and hard to keep them in your brain. As the words by IGN. GameSpot gave it a 3.5 out of 10. IGN 5.0 out of 10. As you can see, the game wasn't very well received. So what am I trying to say about this? This game is a very nostalgic and nice way to soothe yourself into the Indiana Jones universe in an interactive spot. But beware that the motion controls may not be as good. It may be criticized for not only the terribly laid out checkpoints, but maybe also the out-of-date visuals and the atrocious ways of interacting into the worlds. But you know what? Let's just put that aside. Let's just say that's okay. Because at least there was one thing that was actually credited at the game. The gun scenes. The gun scenes were scripted into the game. And what made them great is that you actually had multiple ways of traversing to the game. Sometimes it's just not like, bam, bam, oh, I killed this person, let's continue. No. You would have to not only probably just shoot the person, Well, maybe other objects that'll help you with the destruction of your enemy. Which, this was praised by the game, and this is how come it at least got to the halfway mark. Because let's be honest, if it weren't for that scene, it would only get a 2.10. Not joking. So the game actually kind of saved itself with these scripted scenes. Because this allows the player with its mobile ability. Although maybe some of the scenes may be hard to figure it out first, it's still a nice way to traverse through the game. This game may be forgotten in the timeline, but there were still multiple video games to come. Like... Wait, what's that? There's a message in the clouds. The gods are sending us a message. What does it say?